Hey, welcome everybody. You're joining our 1979 Mets replay, and they weren't very good in '79. They lost 99 games. We're in Philadelphia. This is July 4th, 1979, so we've made it all the way to July. This is game number 76. And I could tell you what the actual, let's look that up. Let's quickly, on my right, I have a 10-inch iPad that I'm using with iScore. Now I'm going to look up their actual their replay record, and then I'll look at their actual record, see how 27 and 48. Okay, 27 and 48 in the replay. In actuality, it's easy to look. Oh, they're 33 and there it is. Actually, no. Hold on. In actuality, they're going to be game 75 after game 31 and 43. So 31 and 43 and one tie in actuality. And so we're basically four wins below the actual Mets record in 1979. So we're going to get the game going. And it's going to be Frankie Taveras, the Mets shortstop, acquired from Pittsburgh earlier in the year, leading it off against Steve Carlton, the lefty. 35-year-old Steve Carlton. He was 18 and 11 with a 3.62 ERA. Here's the pitch to Taveras. We're using red because of the Phillies were at Veterans Stadium. And this, we're going to have to re-roll this one as well. Wow, okay. That's a 7, which is a tough 84 versus a lefty. It's going to be outrange, ground ball shortstop. And that's Boa, throws out Taveras. Elliot Maddox batting second. Oh, again, we have to re-roll that. 36, a patient 36. It's going to be a base on ball, so Maddox is on. Now, Maddox had 3 steals. So we're going to roll to see if he goes. He needs a 3. Does not get it. So next is Lee Mazzilli. Lee Mazzilli is a switch hitter batting righty against the lefty Carlton. That's an 11 tough. A tough 39. Tough 39 is going to be a base hit. And we have to look for our deck. Here's our fast action deck. I knew there was something missing. I'm going to pull a fast action deck. It says soft blooper into short. And runners advance 1 base. So Maddox stops at second base. First and second here in the top of the first. And Richie Hebner. And that's patient 70. Patient 70 is going to be outrange. That's going to be a ground ball to short. That 6 is covered by the 7 on Carlton and the 6 on. So it's going to be a 70 is a 6-4-3 double play that retires the side. So it's going to be Boa to Trio to Pete Rose playing first for the double play. So after half an inning of play, there's no score. Andy Hassler was 4 and 5 with a 3.70 ERA. He was picked up halfway through the season. He's going to face Bake McBride, lefty versus lefty. So that's 3. That's defense. Defense 40. I'm going to pull a defense 40. Let's see who's that on. Error third base. It's going to be Hebner. Hebner is a 2. 1 to 40. So that's going to be an error on Hebner. We'll see what kind of error it is. Third baseman error. It's a 1 base error. So it's an E5. Hebner boots it. And that puts McBride on at first. McBride is a threat to steal. 1 to 5 or less, he goes. And that's a 5, so he is going. And Stearns is a 3 arm. Bo is a C3, and we're going to look at the chart real quick here. C3, I believe, is normal, and as soon as I memorize these, I won't have to pull the chart out. Yeah, C3 is normal, so we're going to pull a card and see if it's a stolen base. You look right here, normal is out. Stearns guns him down. So batter out at second, caught stealing 2. The next batter is a switch hitter batting from the right side, so that means the second baseman is going to cover 2-4. All right, Larry Bowa with 1 out. It's a pitch from Hassler. It's an 8, in play 0-3, in play 0-3, and that's going to be a ball that's pulled down the line. That's going to roll around out there. Youngblood around second is Bowa into third, a throw, and he's safe with a triple. A 1-out triple for Larry Bowa. An 8 was in play. You look at in play, a 0-3. It's going to be a triple for Larry Bowa. So Bowa's on at third, and Pete Rose. Here's the pitch to Rose. It's 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Bottom of the first, excuse me. 10, Patient. 58, Patient 58 would be a hard grounder into, he's batting from the right side into left field for a single. RBI single for Rose, and the Phils are up 1-0. Now Rose had 20 stolen bases, so he may go. He's a 4 or less. He goes, and he does not go. And now it's Greg Luzinski. Now Greg Luzinski's, man, they've been a handful for the Mets pitchers. I'll tell you, Greg Luzinski and Mike Schmidt have given the Mets pitching staff a hard time. A tough 56 strikeout. So Luzinski down on strikes for out number 2. Back to first goes Rose. It's 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. Mike Schmidt, 9, tough 40, tough 40. It's going to be a line drive base hit for Schmidt in the gap, and runners Pete Rose will make it to third base. First and third with 2 outs. So it's one or the other. It's one or the other. It's either Luzinski or Schmidt that's always giving the Mets a hard time. Gary Maddox, right-handed batter. Here's the pitch to Maddox. That's a 7. That's a tough pitch. 80, a tough 80. It's going to be a fly ball lifted to center. Mazzilli there, and that's the 3rd out. But the Phils score 1 on 3 hits. They lead it 1-0 at the end of 1. It's going to be Steve Carlton on the mound for the Phils. John Stearns the batter. And that's an 8, a tough 80 against a lefty. It's a fly ball center field. Maddox 1 away. It's a 9, in play 78. It's Willie Montanez. And that's going to be a fly ball sky to center. 2 down. And Joel Youngblood. Ballpark 87, which at Shea is, at Veterans Stadium is 1-66, so that's going to put us in the in-play range. In play against a lefty, 1-28 is going to be a hit. We rolled an 83, that's an out, grounded to short. Larry Bowa fires to first, and that retires the side. Here's the pitch from Andy Hassler to Manny Trio here in the bottom half of the second. And that's Patient 47. Patient 47 is going to be an out range. That's popped up left side. Shortstop, Taveras. 1 down. Bob Boone. And that's a 7. Tough 0-3. And that's going to be a strikeout. Boone down on strikes. I always thought Tim McCarver was the one who caught for Carlton, but it wasn't so. I double checked it. Wheelhouse 17 against Carlton. Carlton is a 9 pitcher hitting, so that's a 17. That's going to be a single for Carlton. Hard grounder up the middle and through. Bake McBride. In play, 42. It's going to be outrange. Grounded at first. Montanez takes it himself, and that retires the side. We're moving and grooving here. Payoff pitch baseball. Doug Flynn, our 1979 replay. It's 1-0 after 2. And that's going to be an 8. Tough. A tough 72 is a fly to center. Gary Maddox there. Squeezes it one away. And it's Andy Hassler, who's a 1 batter. That's a 7. That's tough. A tough 80 is a strikeout. Hassler down swinging. 2 outs. Carlton pitches to Taveras. Taveras, a 5. That's ballpark. 64. That's going to fall into wheelhouse range. So we're looking at a 1-2 for a home run, or 1-34 for, actually, there's no home runs against lefties for Taveras. So it's 1-32 for a hit. We roll a 92. Sky to left. Luzinski there, and that retires the side. Larry Bow out. Larry Bow is 1 for 1. He singled. That's a in play 27. In play 27 is out of hit range. It's popped up right side. Flynn went away. Pete Rose now. He's 1 for 1. He singled earlier. 10. Patient 45. A patient 45 is going to be a ball that's hitting to the gap, and that's going to be extra bases for sure. Pete Rose is thinking of going for 3. And the throw, and he's safe with a triple. 1 out triple for Pete Rose. Greg Luzinski now. Infield's back for the Mets. Ballpark, 24. This is trouble. Because Greg Luzinski's a righty. That's going to be wheelhouse. Wheelhouse against a lefty. 1-39. That ball's gone. What was I telling you about? It's either Luzinski or Schmidt killing us. That's a 17. That's a deep drive to left field. Back goes Youngblood to the track, to the wall. It's out of here. 2-run shot. Greg Luzinski. And Andy Hassler wishes he had that pitch back. And double check that. 6. No, it was ballpark. So anyway, it's gonna be Mike Schmidt. It's 3-0 Phils right now. 9. Tough 85. And that's a ground ball shortstop. Frank Taveras throws on the run, gets Schmidt. Gary Maddox with 2 outs. 11 tough 0-3. That's a strikeout. Maddox goes down swinging, and that retires the side. 3-0 after 3. Phils are up. Elliot Maddox, who's 0 for, he's walked 7, and that's tough. A tough 20. Tough 20. It's a strikeout. Maddox goes down on strikes. Lee Mazzilli, who's 1 for 1 with a single, steps in the box. The pitch, ballpark, 50. He's batting from the right side, so that's going to be wheelhouse. His wheelhouse is 1-22. Home run, it's 36. That's going to be line drive, base hit to left. So Luzinski's on at first, and he's a threat to steal. We don't know that we're going to be running on Boone, though. Boone is a 2-arm. We're not going to be running on Boone today. So Richie Hebner, the batter, he's 0 for 1, grounded out. Mazzilli takes his lead off first, and that's an 8. Tough 88. That's be a ground ball, second base, and that's going to be a fielder's choice. The throw to first, not in time. 4-6. So Richie Hebner's on at first, and now it's John Stearns, Mets catcher. Pitch from Carlton is a 6. Patient 65. Patient 65. It's a ground ball to second. And Trio flips to Boa for the force. And that retires the side. Go to the bottom half of the fourth inning. It's 3-0 Phils. Andy Hassler on the mound against Manny Trio. Ballpark 58. He's a righty, so that's going to be wheelhouse. Wheelhouse. That's a 97. That's out of range. Skied to left. Youngblood puts it away. One down. Bob Boone steps in the box. Andy Hassler. Patient 96. Patient 96. That's a fly to left. Two down. And now it's Steve Carlton. Steve Carlton's 1 for 1. He singled. 7 tough. A tough 0-9. That's going to be a strikeout. We're going to top half of the fifth inning. We're moving and grooving here. Playing payoff pitch. Replaying the 79 Mets season. It's going to be Willie Montanez, Joel Youngblood, and Doug Flynn. Carlton with a defense, a 66, and that goes above and beyond, so it's going to be an out to the... Oh, it's a defensive rare play. Okay, let's make it a break here. Defensive rare play. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Here it is. Pretty simple. Let me see. I can't get it into the. I can't get it into the. Let's see. There it is. All right. So we're going to roll two d6s, and it's an 8. Fielder with A range, A or B makes highlight catch. Everybody else is going to be a can't reach ball. If it's the catcher, it's going to be a foul ball and roll again. So it's a single if it's to anybody else but a player. In other words, anybody that's an A or B, and I don't know that that's going to happen. Let's just quickly do this. Third baseman, he's not. That's oh wait, Mike Schmidt. Wait a second. Mike Schmidt may be an A at third base, and he's a B, so he's going to make a great play. Mike Schmidt, what do we roll? An 8. Fielder with A or B range makes a highlight catch, so he's going to be on the highlights. Okay, so I guess it's a line drive. I could look at what kind of out it is. Say pop out. And flying into the stands goes Schmidt, makes a great catch. And that's 1 out. So that's how it shows, great fielders get that advantage, right? All right, Joel Youngblood. And that's 10, tough 37, a tough 37. That's a strikeout. Youngblood goes down swinging. Doug Flynn. Tough 85. That's an out. Grounded to short. Boa fires to first and gets Flynn. That retires the side. We had a defensive rare play, which was very cool, and Mike Schmidt made an amazing grab. Very realistic. 7. Tough. A tough 54. And that's going to be a strikeout. McBride strikes out. Boa now steps in the box. Switch hitter bats from the right side against the lefty. That's 9. Tough. A tough 43. Tough 43 is going to be an out. Grounded to third. Hebner up with it. Fires to first. Gets Boa by half a step. Boa hustling down the line. Almost beat it. And it's Pete Rose. Pete Rose is 2 for 2. Switch hitter batting from the right side. 9, that's tough. A tough 34. A tough 34 is a line drive base hit. 3 for 3 for Pete Rose. So Pete Rose is on, and he may run. See if it's low enough. That's not. Greg Luzinski now. Greg Luzinski hit a 2-run home run. That's a 3. That's a defense. 71. That's going to be outside of defensive error or hit range. So that's just going to be we'll kind of out to the third baseman. It's going to be popped up. Left side, Hebner calling for it, and that's out number 3. So Lazinski's retired on that pop-up. And at the end of 5, it's 3-0 Phils. Steve Carlton on the mound for the Phillies. He's going to be facing the pitcher, Andy Hassler. He's a 1. That's an 11. A tough 38. It's going to be a strikeout. Next is Frankie Taveras. Oh. That's another tough 47. Oh no, 43. Tough 43. Look at that. Versus left-handed pitching. That's going to be a hit. Let's double check that. 11 is tough. Tough 43. That's going to be pulled down the line. That's going to go for extra bases. Tavares cruises into second base with a 1-out double. And it's Elliot Maddox. Maddox bats 240 versus lefties. That's 11. That's tough. A tough 99. That's popped up to left side. Schmidt puts it away. 2 down. And it's Lee Mazzilli. Lee Mazzilli is 2 for 2. 3 defense. A 16. This is definitely going to be, well, we'll see. To third base. We didn't want it to be to the third baseman because he's going to make the play on this. Actually, no. He's a 3 error. 3 errors, a 1 to 28. We rolled a 16. That's going to be an error on Schmidt. Kind of an error. It's a 1 base error. So, runners on first and third now. And it's Richie Hebner. Here's the pitch to Hebner. Whoa. It's a 7. That's tough 55. A tough 55. It's going to be a line drive base hit. Tavares into score. And Mazzilli over to third. Runners on first and third now. Let's double check that. As a 7, it's a tough. A 55 is a single for Richie Hebner. First and third, John Stearns. Here's the pitch to Stearns. That's a 10. That's a tough 60. That's a 60 or 90. 92. A tough 92. It's a ground ball to short. Boa flips the trio, and that retires the side. But the Mets pick up one big run. It's 3-1 now. Mike Schmidt leading it off. It's going to be Schmidt, Maddox, and trio. And that's in play 88. It's going to be a ground to short. Tavares fires to first, gets Schmidt, Gary Maddox, who's 0 for 2. He flied out and struck out. That's a 9, tough, 83. And that's going to be a ground to short again. Tavares scoops it, throws on the run. 2 down. Manny Trio is 0 for 2. He's flied out twice. Here's the pitch from Hassler. And it's a 6 patient 0-1. A patient 0-1 is going to be a base on ball. So Trio works the count, manages a walk, and it's Bob Boone. It's a 9 tough 27. A tough 27. It's a base hit for Boone. Hustling over to third is going to be Trio. Let's double check that he's a 6. Oh no, he's a 5, so he's going to stop at second. Lucky we checked. First and second now. And we're going to try to keep Hassler in there until after the next inning because the pitcher bats. Steve Carlton up with 2 outs. I think Hassler can handle Carlton, but we don't know about that. That's going to be an 8 in play, an in play 36, in play 36. Ooh, oh yes, it's an out. It's grounded to first. Montanez flips to Hassler covering, and that retires the side. 3-1. 3-1 score. And it's Steve Carlton on the mound for the Phils. Steve Carlton, 35 starts, 13 complete games. He may complete this one. We'll see what happens. Willie Montanez, who's 0 for 2. That's a 6 patient, a patient 86. That's a grounded to second. Manny Trio, 4-3 put out. Joe Youngblood. That's a 3. That's defense 72. It's going to be an out no matter what. Third base, what kind of an out? Ground ball to Schmidt. Fires to first. 2 down. Doug Flynn. That's defense. Defense 65. That's out of range. Out of hit or error range. And it's going to be the left fielder. Doesn't matter. It's a fly ball. Left fielder. All right. 3 up, 3 down for Steve Carlton. Andy Hassler pitching the 8th inning. He's given up 3 runs. Let's check something. Oh, he may be. Yeah, last inning he should have been a fatigue pitcher. So we're going to make him a fatigue pitcher this inning. Because he gave up 3 runs. So, fatigue pitcher. There he is. Let me see. He He was a 370, right? 370 and a 0. Okay, he's about here. That's him. Forgot to do that. I sometimes forget to do it. All right, still good. It's all good. Big McBride. There's some action in the Mets bullpen. 5 in play. In play 66. This will be a grounded to short. Taveras guns it to first. 1 down. Larry Boa, who's 1 for 3. That's a 6. That's tough. A tough 62. And that's going to be a grounder to second. Flynn over to Montanez. 2 down. And Pete Rose. Snake Eyes. That's in play. In play 64. That's an outrange. It's a ground ball to second base. 4-3. Pete Rose ends the day pretty much, unless this gets tied and moves on. 3 for 4. Had 3 hits today. All right. So Andy Hassler's leading it off. So we're going to get a pinch hitter. Mets are going to pinch hit. Righty. Let's get a righty in here. Alex Trevino. Let's write him in quickly. Trevino. 3-1 game here in the top half of the 9th inning. That's 5. Ballpark 97. That's going to be in play. In play 65 or 60, whatever, is going to be outrange. It's going to be a grounder to second. So that's 4-3. 1 out. Mets are 2 outs away from another defeat. Frankie Taveras, who's 1 for 3 on the day. That's a 6. Patient 89. Grounder to short. Larry Boa. 2 down. And now it's Elliot Maddox who's 0 for 2. He's walked, struck out, and flied out. Here's a pitch from Carlton. 66, that's Wheelhouse 10. Wheelhouse 10 versus a lefty is going to be a single for Maddox. Doesn't have power versus lefties. So Maddox keeps the inning alive here. And it's Lee Mazzilli. 2-run homer will tie it. Oh, we just missed being ballpark. It's a patient. Patient 31. 30 would be a wild pitch. We rolled a 31. Patient 31 is a base on balls. Runners on first and second. So the potential winning one, the go-ahead run is at the plate in Richie Hebner. Hebner 1-11 versus lefties. You know what? We're gonna bring in You Gotta Believe. Gotta Believe had 16 saves, and Ron Reed had. Yep. Gotta Believe. Tug McGraw coming in. All right, so it's going to be lefty versus lefty again. Tug McGraw is in there. Here's the pitch to Hebner. That's a 4. That's patient. A patient 41. Going to be a single. So a single, and with Maddox, it's going to be a 3-2 game now. Because Maddox is an 8 running. So that's a single RBI. And going to third, the tying run is 90 feet away now. And Lee Mazzilli. So Hebner comes up huge in the clutch here with 2 outs. So it's a little bit of a 2-out rally for the Mets in the top half of the 9th. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. This is the top half of the 8th inning. All right. Top half of the 8th inning. It's all good. It's all good. All right. It's 3-2 now. And it's John Stearns. That's a 3. That's defense. Defense 95. That's going to be out range. To left field. That's a fly ball to left field. And that retires the side. Luzinski's there, puts it away. All right, but the Mets come up big, come up with 1 run, and they drive out Carlton. Mets are going to have a new pitcher. Mets are going to bring in typical guy who comes in here for the Mets, Dale Murray. Dale Murray versus Greg Luzinski. Here's the pitch. Bottom half of the 8th inning, 3-2 ball game. 8 in play, 27 in play, 27. A righty now. It's gonna be a base hit single. So Lozinski's on with a single. He won't be going anywhere. And it's Mike Schmidt now. 3, patient 75. Patient 75. It's gonna be a single. First and second. So back-to-back singles by Lozinski and Schmidt. They're Met killers. 75. Hard to believe. It all goes all the way up there. 3 was patient. Yep. Okay, first and second. And now Maddox, he's gonna bunt. He's a B bunter. And that's a sacrifice, successful sacrifice, 1-4. So both runners move up, 1-4. And it's gonna be Manny Trio. Infield's in for the Mets. Here's the pitch from Murray, 4. In play, 95. In play, 95. That's gonna be a fly ball, shallow left field. And everybody's going to hold up on that. 2 outs now, and it's Boone. And you know what? We're going to walk. Boone. I'm going to walk Boone to face the pitcher, so they can drive out McGraw. We're going to drive out McGraw. We're going to have a pinch hitter. We're going to look and see who this team pinch hit. This is July 4th game, Wednesday, July 4th, 1979. And let's see. The real score in this game was 1-0 Phils, so I don't think the Phils used the pinch hitter. Oh, they did. Mike Anderson actually came in. So we're going to bring in Mike Anderson to play. He actually played in reality. Let's see if we have him. I don't know that we'll have him. Oh, yeah, we do have him. He's a righty, so that'll... Righty batted .357 versus righties in 14 at-bats. Well, I don't know that we're going to do that because he didn't pinch hit in this game. He played left field. And I don't need that. The Mets don't need that. So we're gonna go back to the game before and see who their pinch hitters were. All right, so game 75. Their pinch hitters, game 75. That just wouldn't be right to do that to the poor old Mets. Game 75. Pinch hitters was Mike Anderson did pinch hit. Okay, so we're bringing him in. Oh boy. Mike Anderson bats .357 versus righties. He's going to pinch hit for Tug McGraw. All right, here's the pitch from Murray to Mike Anderson with the bases loaded. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th, 3-2, Phil's lead. Oh boy, wheelhouse, 48. There's the righty, 48. Line drive. Base hit. Runners advance. Schmidt is going to advance. He's going to score. So it's a 2-run single by pinch hitter Mike Anderson. Oh, wait. Gotta go. Gotta cancel that. Try it again. Single. 1-run scores. In comes Schmidt. And hustling over to third. Oh no, Bob Boone. Let's see what kind of runner Bob Boone was. Bob Boone's is a 5, so Bob Boone's going to stop at second. Bob Boone is going to stop at second base. Tug McGraw's out. And it's a big, huge RBI single. Gives the Phils a 5-2 lead here in the bottom of the 8th. And the Mets walked Boone to load the bases. And it was McGraw due up. They brought in Mike Anderson to pinch hit. He bats .357 versus righties. So that backfired on the Mets. Dale Murray's not done very well so far. He's given up 2 runs. So actually he's a long. So I think he gets 1 more run before he becomes fatigued. And it's Bake McBride, a lefty. You know what? We're going to bring in Glenn to face Ed Glenn. I don't get him into as many games as I should. So we're going to bring him in. Ed Glenn. Oh, wait. I didn't even have the... Okay. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let's go back a second. I have to edit Carlton, Andy Hassler. So right here, I have to Substitution for the visitors. On defense, the pitcher, it was Murray who came in. And now, okay, I fixed that. I just never, I used this card, I just never wrote him in. So now we're going to put in Ed Glynn. Ed Glynn on the mound for the Mets. Ed Glynn was 1-4 with a 3 ERA in 46 games. Joined the Mets halfway through the season. He's going to be facing Bake McBride with runners on first and second. Here's the pitch. 2 outs. 4. That's Patient. Patient 43 versus a lefty. 43 is going to be a double. What? It is. I double checked it. Double. Opposite field shot to, I guess he's batting lefty, so it's to left field. All runner score. 2-run double. Two-run, 2-out double by Bake McBride. Bake McBride versus lefties batted .355. Wow, shouldn't have never brought in a lefty to face him. Okay, but I guess during the season they didn't know what was going to happen. So it's 7-2 now, and it's Larry Boa who's 1-for-4. He's tripled, flied out, and grounded out twice. And that's a patient 43. Patient 43 versus a lefty is going to be a line drive base hit. And with 2 outs, Bake McBride's going to score. RBI single makes it 8-2. Phils. And Pete Rose now. Pete Rose gets another opportunity for his 4th hit of the game. Ed Glynn versus Pete Rose batting righty. That's an 11 defense, 95. That's going to be outrange. Is it to the outfield now? Third base, pop up. Hebner calls it. That's the 3rd out. But this game has been decided, folks. We're going to the top of the 9th. It's 8-2. 8-2. Phils. The Phils are going to bring in Kevin Saucier. Kevin Saucier, there he is, he's a lefty. Doesn't really matter who they bring in at this point. I may have to write him in though, I don't have him in here. Yeah, I have to write him in, add sub. Kev. And he's a lefty, yeah, there he goes. All right. Kevin Saucy's in there versus Willie Montanez. Montanez is 0-for-3. And that's a 10 ballpark, 0-5. So that's going to be wheelhouse, 0-9. That's a deep drive to right field. Back goes McBride to the track, to the wall. Looks up. It's out of here. Willie Montanez connects. And it's an 8-3 ball game. It's Joe Youngblood. Patient 72 versus a lefty. And that's going to be a out. Fly ball center field, Gary Maddox. Doug Flynn. So for 3. Snake Eyes wheelhouse 62. Wheelhouse 62 versus a lefty. It's a grounded second. Manny Trio 4-3. 2 outs. Let's go Phils. I hate you, Ken Castro. Don't never say that to me again. All right. Who's up now? It's the pitcher. Pitcher's up. And it was Ed Glynn. Ed Glynn. He's the pitcher and he's up. And we're gonna pinch hit. There's a lefty on the mound. Who are we gonna pinch here? My Mets. These are the murderers. Oh no, that's Phillies. I saw Tug McGraw and I jumped from season to season. So, all right, we need a righty on Hodges. Righty batter here. Do we have any righty batters? I don't think we do. Steve Henderson. I guess we could. I don't know where Steve Henderson is though. He hasn't been playing. He may be injured. Let's see. Yeah, he only had 300 at bats, so he may be injured. So you know what? We're gonna bring in the. Oh wait, I have Gil Flores. Gil Flores. All right, Gil Flores is gonna bat with 2 outs here. Mets are down 8-3 in the top half of the ninth inning in Veterans Stadium. Game number 76 of the season. This is a July 4th game, so stick around for the fireworks after this game. Kevin Saucier, 3. Defense, 10. That's going to be some sort of either hit or error, and it's going to be an error right field. And that's definitely going to be an error because whatever it is, because it's below the lowest number. So an error right field is going to be a single and an error. So Flores pinch hits a single and makes it to second on the error. So he's got a single. So Flores hits a medium line drive for a single and advances to second on error by right fielder Bake McBride. That is the deal. All right, so Gil Flores on at second, keeping the Mets' dreams and hopes alive in this game. 8-3 Phils here in the top half of the ninth inning with 2 outs. And it's Frank Taveras. He's 1 for 4, grounded out, flied out, doubled, and grounded out again. Pitch from Saucier. It's an 11. That's patient. A patient 49 against a lefty. Patient 49 is outside of any kind of patient range, and that's going to be a ground ball third base. Schmidt goes the short way to Trio and the force, and that retires the side. Game over. Mets lose another one, guys. Mets lose another one. They dropped to 27-49. My God. 27-49. In reality, they were actually... Did they win this game in reality? That's a good question. Because this is getting very painful for me. But I'm not giving up, no. Because every little victory, after losing so many games, man, I really rejoice after every victory. It's the most exhilarating feeling you can't imagine. The euphoria that I feel. Let's see. Game 76, July 4th. Yeah, the Mets lose this game to Steve Carlton. They lose it. And they fall to 31-44 in reality. 31-44. And I'm 27-48 in the replay. So I have to, take some coaching, managing classes. Maybe Ken Castro is going to set me up for that. Anyway, all right, guys. Final score. It's 8-3 Phils. The line score was 3 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error with 7 left on base for the Mets. The Phils had 8 runs, 13 hits, 2 errors, and 7 left on base. Yeah. And the win is going to go to, let's look at that real quick. Let's write that in so we don't forget, because sometimes I forget to do that. Carlton is going to get the win. Stevie Carlton. And the loss is going to go to Andy Hassler. And that's all she wrote with our Mets replay for Monday. All right, so I bid everyone farewell. This is Combat Painter signing off from his 1979 Mets replay. I'm replaying this both on Action PC and on by cards. Obviously, I can play 2 Action PC games for every 1 card game that I can play, but it's still a lot of fun to play the cards, the